Yes.
Esteem building stuff, looking at the standings for the Big 12 as we get ready for this season. Check it out. Arizona, not just tops in the Big 12, tops in the country. We'll get to them. But when you look at this so far, King, in the non-con, what jumps out at you?
I mean, it's just the depth of this conference. I mean, this conference is so deep. And when you look at it, UCF, I mean, who would have thought a school or a team like UCF would be rolling the way that they are rolling, and they're in the top 8 of the conference, them and Oklahoma State? What a massive jump for both of those programs to be at the bottom last year and now slowly climb their way into the top. And granted, we haven't played a conference game yet, but what they've done so far has been impressive.
Yeah, Johnny Dawkins, his son, is a great actor. Showtime for him right now as a coach. They're looking pretty good. All right, let's get into some of our top storylines right now. We're going to start with Houston, right? The reigning, defending Big 12 champs. They have done so well so far in the non-con. They took it to the SEC, really. They beat Arkansas. They beat Auburn, right? They barely lost to Tennessee, number 17 Tennessee. They also beat Notre Dame and FSU. Do they have the pieces to repeat?
Yeah, I do. I really do think that they are capable of repeating, and I'm a big believer in it. It's something you'll always hear me say. Good guards help you get wins in March.
Yeah.
And they have a plethora. They have 3 guards who I think are as good of a trio in the country, not just in the Big 12, but in the country.
So I got a question for you on that.
Go ahead.
Kelvin Sampson says he was asked this week, hey, you're playing a little faster this year. Is that going to be who you are? Do you think they can win and keep that same Houston grit with an up-tempo basketball attack?
I honestly think it makes them more dangerous. Because when you think about it, defensively, they haven't changed. They are who they are. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. They're going to speed you up. However, what they're doing better this year than I think they did in years previously is they're taking those turnovers. They're getting those stops and converting those into transition buckets. And I think that right there makes them a lot more dangerous because you know that when they get into the half court, they're going to wear you down and get that shot clock under 10 every possession. So now that they can convert in those easy transition buckets, that takes their offense to a whole different level because they're not forced to play in the half court.
Game 1 for them coming up. They take on Cincinnati, 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. Arizona, the number 1 team in the country. They have beaten 8 straight teams by 20 points or more.
Goodness.
That's a statement, dude. What do you think all the success so far in the non-con means for them going forward this year?
It means that they are absolutely legit, and this is a great team, but they're unique. I think we live in a day and age in college basketball where teams want to pace and space. They want to push the tempo, and they want to get as many threes up as possible. This team does not play that way. They are trying to wear you down. They're going to be the toughest team. They're top 5 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. Majority of their points, right, when it comes to the three-point line, they're like bottom. I'm talking about like in the 350s in shots and 3-point field goal attempts per game.
You love that.
I love that. It's different. And I think that's what makes them so tough to play against. And defensively, they're special. They have the 3rd best defense in the country. I mean, when you look at what Jaden Bradley is doing and Braden Burries, these are 2 guys. Jaden Bradley doesn't get talked about enough when we talk about the best guards in the country.
Yeah.
Burries doesn't get talked about enough when we talk about the best freshmen in the country. I mean, he's the leading scorer on the number 1 team in the country. We got to give this backcourt a lot more love.
Yeah, we absolutely do, and I couldn't agree with you more. By the way, their first game against Utah, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Peacock.
Oh.
King and I both calling games on Peacock and ESPN this year. Like to welcome Peacock to the party. Also, TNT. We've seen them so far featured on some of the Big 12 schedules. All right, dark horses. Teams that could cause havoc this year in the Big 12.
Well, I got my Baylor Bears, man. My Baylor Bears, they looked good. Then all of a sudden, they got an addition to James Najee that takes them over the hump. Because look, what they were missing, right? I thought it was 2 positions, that point guard spot and that big spot, that 5-man spot. Because right now they had Ratai playing the 5, and he's not a true 5. He is a 4 when he is at his best. And Caden Powell is good, but he's not the type of 5-man that's going to literally get you wins when it comes to conference play and in March. So right now, you add Cam Carr, Tunde, Obi, and then you put them with a guy like James Najee.
Legit 7 feet, by the way.
Legit big. That is an athletic freak, a lob threat. He can protect the rim. Like, this is what Scott Drew loves. He loves bigs like this.
Yeah.
He is going to thrive and take this Baylor team to another level.
And I talked to Scott Drew yesterday around the Baylor game, and he says, look, they're not leaning into the controversy per se, but he says, we went by the rules to get this done. There was a lot of work that was put into this. It is within the rules. Baylor's doing everything they can to win, and you got to tip the cap to him. I think it's a gutsy move and it's a shrewd move.
I love it. He's playing that villain role.
Oh, he's
the picture with the Sikkim with James Najee. Forget what everybody else is talking. He wants to do his best for his program, and he did it. I'm always going to back Scott Drew no matter what.
Another team in Texas to look out for in Fort Worth, TCU, man. They guard you like crazy, and they wear you down. They take the whole shot clock. They make you guard them. Keep an eye on Jamie Dixon and the Horned Frogs this year.